Hey YouTube, Alan back with another Master System Monday, and for this week's pick, we're taking a look at an arcade classic. It's Rampage. Now, Rampage is something that I say it's an arcade classic, but for me, I never really got into it. It's an interesting enough game, I suppose. Who doesn't like to smash stuff around, and that can be enjoyable for a few minutes. And you get big sprites and big characters, and it had a lot of personality, but having never played it in a day, either on the arcade original or on the Mass System, it's never been something that's really jumped out at me. The reason why I've picked it for Mass System Monday is purely one, obviously I am aware that it is considered a very good conversion for the time frame, and if you compare, this to the NES version, which is probably more popular, the Mass System version is miles better. Um, but I just find it another one of those fascinating American Activision releases. You probably straight away spotted the red box in the background, and we'll get to that. But before we do, we'll take a look at the cartridges. So, of course, in Europe, you have the standard Master System cartridge, a little wear on mine, but it's your typical Master System cartridge, nothing special. Just like Bomber Raid, which I've shown in an earlier Master System Monday, you have your Activision label, so you actually have a logo, and you have distributed by Activision, for play on a Mass System. It actually stands out a little bit more. Mass System cartridges aren't the most exciting, but even this helps compared to the vanilla kind of, cartridge. Then onto the manuals. So we have your standard European, landscape, and you have your American portrait. Now, really, there isn't too much in the manual. And when I say there's not too much in the manual, this one in particular, look how thin this is. It is like 4 pages long or something. See, like five pages or something. Like there's nothing here. It's amazing. I mean, I know it's an arcade game. It's simple, but come on. I mean, the European one, not too great, but at least you do get a few, shots of artwork here and there. Where is it? There's more. Yeah, so like there's at least some effort thrown in. I mean, there's not much to it, but for once, I would actually say the Europeans got a better manual. And then onto the boxes. Now, fundamentally, and while we're looking at the boxes, I suppose I'll start to angle this over so we can get a bit more of that in shot. Fundamentally, well, bit in shot until I cover them over. They're the same artwork. The Mass System version has the standard white grid, and you have the Rampage logo placed where typical game logos would go. But again, compared to a lot of the earliest grid releases, there's a lot of good artwork here, and it looks quite appealing, I think. You have your Rampage logo, and then you have your screenshots in the back, your 1 to 2 player, you can use a control pad or control stick. So yeah, you got your 4 things. American one, it's of course distributed by Activision, so it's in a really striking red box with a kind of a yellow, the grid becomes yellow. You got your, play on, Rampage logo again. And this time we only have 2 screenshots. One kind of, I guess they call them hero screenshots, or big, kind of capturing one. And I think they are the same screenshots, or 2 of, I think it's this one and this one. So these 2 screenshots have been repeated and these 2 have been dropped. The text is pretty much the same. All this first section is the same as the European release. Smash and trash, mass destruction has never been so much fun. Yada yada yada. This is all the exact same. But at the bottom part where it says team up with a friend and trash the town together, 50 cities to demolish and devour, tasty enemies, awesome 2 mega graphics and sound. Definitely the graphics and sound totally, as you can see from the title screen and just generally from the gameplay, they're a lot nicer than most of the equivalents at the time. And if you play this in 2-player, I can see there being a bit of fun, but it's not really something that I would be running back to other than just for a quick pick up and play, 2-player, game. You're just looking for something in between. Can't think of something, throw on Rampage. 50 levels, I think that's really for the diehards out there. Having said that, it's still reasonably easy to pick up. Well, the European one, I'm not so sure about the American one. So again, if you're into Rampage and you're looking for a good port, you can do a lot worse than the Mass System version. Anyway, until next time.